get the ball. Yeah, that's how.
It is 6:00 p.m., Monday, November the 13th, 2023. And I would like to call to order the Economic Development Corporation special meeting located at City Hall. All board members are present with the exception of Deanna McCabe and Lindsay Barnett. So if we can all stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have any announcements? I think if I had any. No? All right, any citizen comments? Did you sign up or you just signed in? Speak, yeah. No, okay.
I may speak later on the agenda. Do I need to sign up?
No, I just thought I saw you sign in over there. Okay. All right, then I guess we're moving on to the consent agenda. So we have minutes that we will be approving and then several invoices and reimbursements along with the monthly financials.
I move to adopt the consent agenda.
I'll second.
I guess we can't have discussion, but I would like to pull something from the agenda.
Anybody can pull it.
Okay, so I would like to remove item number 5B6 for discussion. So we have an invoice from Bandera Signs for design and setup for the wayfinding maps. And as I was going through our budget to see what we had budgeted for this project, we are very close to exceeding that. And some of the expenditures that we have approved take us right to our total. So my concern is that I just want the board to be aware of where we're at in this project, and that if we continue or if we do exceed it, we do need to go to city council for approval for budget amendments. I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion, we open this up for discussion.
Okay.
Do we have a waivers on that? How close is
You need
close?
a second, Al.
You're a second for discussion.
Oh, a second, yeah, I'm sorry.
I mean,
call that a second.
the purpose of a budget is to set,
Okay, but-
specific guidelines.
Well, when you
so
say
there's
get
really no
close
variance.
now, so is there a waivers over or under? Or
Not
is there
yet.
plus minus?
So, we are currently so for this fiscal year, we budgeted $5,000. Last fiscal year, there was $9,000, which we spent, actually,
15,000 was budgeted.
it was not.
It was in our, I know it was.
Okay, I went through all the minutes and I couldn't find it, anywhere, so.
I remember 15,000,
But that would have been last fiscal year, not this fiscal year.
That's what we're talking about. You said last year.
yeah, it's last
You
year.
said last year. Just now.
So you're saying we had budgeted 15,000?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, that's
And
not
then
what I
we-
have in the
and then we
minutes.
sent 9
Okay.
of that 15. And we also budgeted 2,500 for graphic design, and we're at 18. So.
And we typically do big round numbers, I might add, we don't usually say 14,000, that's why I said, where's the waivers?
Yeah,
because I wanna know how far above and how far below we are. How much do we have to spend or not spend?
Right. Well, the only thing I could find in the minutes was from June the 23rd of 2022. There was a motion to change the amount for the wayfinding signs from 10,000 to 9,000 to avoid a public hearing and council approval. That's what I have in these minutes.
But that was just because the cost of the 3 signs was right at 9,000.
Okay, but I don't see anywhere
I
where
threw
the budget.
it away, just not that
Roxanne, what was last year's?
We were going over 10,000 last year. That's why we had to take a resolution to the council to approve going over 10,000, which they
For the
did
entire project.
for the entire
not for that
project.
year,
Right. And then we budgeted 5,000 for this coming year to wrap up any loose ends.
Which is, yeah. Which brings us to 14,000 for the total project.
Well, this invoice is.
This invoice will not put us over, but we still owe $750 to Webwagon. So if we, considering that payment, that puts us at 13,650.
So we're still fine.
Yeah, but we haven't printed the signs or installed them or paid for the upgraded material. We have $350 left.
Okay, out of the 15, but did you carry over?
There were no
There are no
carryovers.
carryovers.
There should have been 6,000 from the 21-22 fiscal year. that was carried.
There's not.
Well,
There was no money carried over to last fiscal year.
well, that's a mistake.
Okay, so where we're at right now, we'll have to amend our budget.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So I don't know what happened in the past. There was not 15,000 budgeted in 22-23.
No, it was 21-22.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
To me, that's last year. Because
we're in
22, 23 would have been last year.
yeah, but I said 21-22.
Okay,
That would have been the year before that.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot. We just.
Yeah. You know, I guess what we just need to be mindful of, like, this should have come up in our budget workshop if we were going to
Okay,
need additional funds.
well, do we need to
So-
put it as an agenda item for next?
Yes, we
Okay.
will need to, and it would be helpful if we could get all of our numbers. Cause
We thought we had them.
well, the upgraded material, did we get a price on that?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Roxanne never got a copy of the estimates of the upgraded
I
materials.
handed it to her with the sample.
Do you have that?
I had the sample. I don't,
I gave
Okay.
all, after the meeting, I handed you everything.
Can we just get another, yeah, I don't have it. So if we could get that final price for the upgraded material and then the printing and the installation, because I don't believe this $150
No, it
is
wasn't. It
for
was-
that,
It was right at 8 something. 800 and something.
for the upgraded material. And that was for printing and installation and material. Okay, can we get that, like that in writing from?
Again, yes.
Okay, well,
And
you,
Andrea was sent to you, I copied you, but I'll get it again.
okay. And then that, I'm assuming that's it? The upgraded material, and that's all gonna be together, and there's no more additional costs for the setup of the sign? Just the
Not to
150?
my- Not to my knowledge, unless something blows up.
Okay. Has it been done, or is she still
No.
working on it?
She's still working on it.
Okay. Okay, that's all, I just wanted to bring that to the attention of the board. So we can move forward with the consent agenda. Somebody wants, Tom made a motion.
One question, have we looked back to the 21-22 fiscal year? Or
Yes.
Did you find anything?
No.
We couldn't find our actual budget.
That's the truth.
And
That's the problem.
that brings me so, I'm a bad driver.
Blame it on the secretary.
Yeah.
And it just
But
goes,
you, Alan, you and I both have the same recall.
Yes.
Um,
You're not brain dead yet.
The problem is that QuickBooks nor do the minutes support that. So maybe it was an error, maybe it didn't get recorded correctly,
I'm sure it was an error because
but moving,
I saw, I just threw away. my
right.
notes the
So
other day
the
and had
the
all
remedy
that
for it
over.
is just putting it on the next agenda so we can have it approved, and then we'd have to go back to council. So,
and then, also if that project was approved or budgeted for $15,000, it should have gone before city council as well. And it didn't. So,
Well, it did in the budget.
well,
It was like 2 months ago, city council said, we want a total number. And at the next meeting, we provided a total number. So I thought, so it has been approved.
well, yes and no. We had what we thought was a total number, and they didn't want to put in the resolution an exact figure. They just approved the resolution over 10,000, which is fine, but that was for that fiscal year. Correct. We may very well go over the 5,000. We don't know. If there were some inconsistencies with what WebWagon did with their design, I guess.
The two programs didn't.
Okay. So if
Because the sign is.
the board will have to decide, are we going to go ahead and pay WebWagon the balance when their software or whatever was not cohesive with the other vendor we went with? And if that is the case and WebWagon does want their balance, then that could put us over. If they don't, which if you check with them and find out if they're just going to call it a wash, I got paid.
He's already sent the invoice. You should have it. He said, I got a text, he said, Friday or Saturday.
No, I have nothing from him.
just as long as we're aware, it just has to go back. And it would be, we need to have a pretty solid number to approve that amendment. So we know what we're amending, how much, by how much. That's all. Okay, so we have a motion by Tom to approve the consent agenda
And Laura seconded.
and a second by Laura.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. All in favor? All in favor, none opposed. All right, item 6A, approve a performance agreement with Bandera Community Action Group for the use of EDC owned Christmas lights. Mr. Murphy?
I want to thank y'all again for helping us with the lights. This contract or agreement, only one thing on there that I found interesting is it said there was 6 trees and 6 of these and 3 of those. So courthouse, we never know how it's going to turn out. Yeah, maybe 7 trees, 8 trees, how much help we got. I know we had put up 2 extra trees one time because the kids that were putting in the T-posts grabbed the trees and posts that we used for the manger. And they had to go get extra posts. So we had extra trees, no big deal. So that's the only thing I found in here that I want y'all to be aware of. Because every year is different, depending who we got helping. There's no one way, correct way to do this, y'all. Let's just make it look pretty. And so we got different mothers helping, different this and that, so every year is different.
In other words, there's a lot of moving parts here.
Yes.
Well, how about if we put the word approximately in there?
Okay.
Would that take care of it?
For that, it's very good.
Okay.
And other than that, I got my copy and I've signed it. Give it her, let it go with that.
Okay,
Well, we'll probably need one for this year. What you
This,
say.
I just signed this today.
Oh, okay,
I received
okay,
an email.
okay.
And that change can be done on the first page. It won't affect the signature page, so we can
Okay.
get that taken care of.
okay, okay. We can do that. Um,
And then the one for the park. Is that,
I've done that already.
okay.
I've met with Stan there.
No, I'm talking about the lights, because we did one for you, and then, last year we just did one for Bandera Community Action Group, and we just separated them out.
This Bandera Community Action Group is both courthouse and.
Okay, right.
And
Right, okay.
originally, I was just doing the courthouse, so this is
Right.
the third year to do the river.
Right,
Yes.
and second year, Community Action Group, isn't it?
Yes. No, the third year, actually.
Okay, yeah, you're right, you're right,
Jane, Brooke, Pratt doing
I
first year.
forgot about that, yeah.
is there a motion for?
I make a motion to amend the, performance agreement with Bandera Community Action Group to put approximately, when it refers to the number of trees.
Any further discussion? All in favor to approve this performance agreement with the amendment? All in favor, none opposed. Good to go.
Thank you, ma'am. With that, you-
You can give it to Roxanne, that would be perfect, thank
Thank
you.
you.
She'll get that.
Thank you, sir.
I know it's early.
Item 6E, approve a performance agreement and authorize payment in the amount of $8,759.05 with Appleyer Express Bandera LLC, doing business as Wagon Rides of Bandera, for the purchase of a horse-drawn surrey wagon and related equipment to increase horse-drawn carriage services and stops, promoting the city of Bandera Cowboy Capital Brands. Come on up if there's any questions. I have no questions. Yes, you have.
What about the title?
I will
Um,
be collecting cash as a computer because I will have enough business to qualify to collect tax.
Okay, but our performance agreement states you must provide the last year's sales tax report.
I don't believe that's what the attorney,
I don't believe it's in this performance agreement. Is it?
it might have been on the
That you
applic,
filled out.
it might have been on the application, but the attorney reviewed
That's what I'm
the,
talking about, that application.
right, the attorney said it wasn't required.
I use a CPA each year, so.
Well, that doesn't
That
matter.
matter. That the little bit of business we had there, Roseanne, did not require sales tax and we were one of those, so it was a good thing. And the final agreement. I'd like to show that.
Yes.
I'm just, if the application requires her to provide sales tax for a year and you haven't changed that by, a vote, then I don't see why, I don't think you can just disregard it unless you have something from the attorney. And the other thing, I'm all for promoting, the cowboy way in Bandera and I love seeing she has a wagon that she's already driving around the city of Bandera. I'm wondering why the board feels like they need to purchase another wagon for her. And also, why, is this the full amount for that wagon? Why would you not have her pay for half of it? Why, I don't understand why you guys are buying this wagon for an individual? And why you're not requiring her to at least put forth some of her own money towards this business that she's, gonna be doing. And we have a wagon already in town, but I like that we have two, because she's already driving a wagon in town. So I'm wondering why you feel like the board feels like they need to purchase another one for her.
Well, I'll answer your first question, which is the sales tax question. On the application, it does ask if the business remits sales tax. She answered no. It says if available, attach most recent sales tax form. It does not require, unless I'm missing something. If it's collected, they have to provide it. If it's not, they don't.
And
So
the,
there's no way for this, for you guys to make any money back on it. There's no way that she's gonna be paying this money. You're not a bank.
No,
Correct.
it's not direct. It's not direct, okay, it's not a direct payment to this. It's an encouragement for the city to have what she is providing. There's no way to put a figure on that. I mean, quite frankly, Tom, you wanna chip in on this?
Yeah, our job is to promote tourism and business, and
That's right, you can't
here we
measure
have
it by
somebody
exactly
providing
how
this
much
wonderful
tax.
service.
That's
But
right.
she already has a
If
wagon
they buy a
that she's
hamburger in
providing
town,
service for.
they're gonna create a tax, right?
Exactly, yes.
Well, I
This
think
is
what's to stop
ridiculous or hard.
Wes from, his Longhorn just passed away. I mean, he may want us to buy a new Longhorn. May I?
Might be a good idea, who knows?
Okay,
The
hold on.
Camels didn't work out too good.
Roxanne had her hand up.
so the attorney said that for cities with a population of less than 20,000, there is no requirement to generate sales tax or even create a job. For these smaller cities, an authorized Type B project can be any expenditure found by the corporation's board of directors to promote new or expanded business development, including promoting general tourism and that would positively impact economic development in the city. Then it would be an authorized project.
Absolutely.
So you're opening the door, and like I said,
Let's open that door.
We've just been down, I just, Lynn knows the history.
Yes,
And,
I know.
you know, we made some bad decisions in the past that it came back to bite us.
so, you didn't answer my question about why you feel like you have to pay the full amount. Is this the full amount
This is
for the
full
purchase
amount.
of? So why wouldn't you have her as a businesswoman that's gonna be making money off of this business, at least put some of her own money into it?
Provided labor.
Well, first of all, she has put a lot of money into
Exactly.
this business. It promotes tourism and it moves tourists around our town and encourages them to frequent restaurants or see shops that they don't see because they don't leave that area of Bandera.
So
Her
does
route,
the performance agreement gonna include specific days that she has to use this specific wagon or not?
you know,
And also like a clawback, I know that we have talked before in the past about a clawback, should she not, stick to this agreement, will she have to pay that money back?
yes, there is a
Or-
clawback in here and this, that's up for discussion here. That's what we're here to talk about.
She's literally bringing people to Bandera and dropping them off on Main Street.
They're already in Bandera, and she's
No,
sitting
they're coming
somewhere.
here
They're coming here
because
to
that
say
is a part
Cowboys.
of why they're coming here.
Right.
I
It
understand
enhances
that, Tom,
our
we
objective.
have somebody
And so
that's
this
with
is
the
a wonderful-
BBA that is doing that right now.
Right.
That's being paid by the BBA to do that through our hot funds. So, and like I said, she already has a wagon, so is she gonna be running two?
Yes.
Yes,
She's gonna be running two
this is
wagons.
business expansion.
No offense, but she was a taxi service for me one time, because I walked town, and she was actually gonna take me back if I couldn't make it
Well,
100
she's
Street.
not a taxi, but that was
Yeah,
awfully
it's
nice of her to do.
Basically, no, especially that's what it can do, it can take visitors from point A to point B.
Yeah, I understand.
Especially if they're staying in town, they're here, but they want to take a wagon ride to point C.
Right.
And they can do it.
I understand.
You
I'm
have this
also,
in other cities, in other small towns.
I'm just thinking that you might be opening yourselves up and granted, you're the EDC board if that's how you wanna spend the money. The city is in dire need of a lot of things. I don't know why you're getting frustrated with my conversation, okay? So
I agree with you.
I'm also gonna say, like, if you have a person come to you and say, oh, I wanna start having, horseback riding in the city of Bandera, and I need $9,000 to purchase 4 horses, are y'all gonna pay for that too? I mean,
Gonna
no,
come
we
to us
take
and ask for it.
we take project by project, and this
but if
board
you approve
felt,
this, you're gonna have to approve
no,
the
we
next
do
one.
not.
you
No,
don't
we
have
do
to.
not.
No, you don't.
We absolutely do not.
All right.
And we felt like this was a worthy project. And yes, when you support business, you are putting money in your pocket, okay? But we're also adding an amenity to our town.
I understand.
And I think, you know, we have trouble with parking, our sidewalks suck. And this is a good way for people to safely get around.
I don't oppose another wagon train in town. What I'm wondering is why you feel like you have to pay for the whole thing and not have her pay for part of it.
Cause it's $8,000.
I mean, $8,759 is a lot of money.
Won't
I
buy
mean,
you a golf
I don't
cart.
understand why you're not
No, it
thinking
won't.
it's not.
It won't buy you a golf cart.
Yes,
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the performance agreement for authorized payment of $8,759.05 to Hallenger Express Bandera for the wagon rides of Bandera.
Second.
Any further discussion or?
Yes, I think we need to talk about the callback.
All right, that's good. Okay.
And,
Discuss. Well,
Let's go.
not any
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
Nobody will second it.
Okay. No, Tom did.
No, he seconded it.
Tom did.
Okay,
But
all right,
we're
all right,
good.
Tom
Now it's
seconded.
open for discussion.
Okay. I think we need something in the liability insurance. We're the beneficiary.
Are you referring to being an additional insured?
No, being the beneficiary should something happen.
Should something happen to the wagon.
Well, you stand for an example. You know, that wagon, we were supposed to be the beneficiary in hers. But we never got the money.
Okay.
So I'd like to see us be the beneficiary. I'd like to see.
In a case like if she
If I-
closes
if-
down or dies or.
Well, if there's an accident and the wagon,
Well, if it needs repair, we follow your.
no,
umbrella.
no, I'm not talking about repairs. I'm talking about like if it gets totaled. Say next week. I mean, Fancy hadn't even been in business but a couple of weeks and, you know, there went our money right out the window and hers was a loan. So.
Are you
I-
asking for a loss payable as a bank?
Yes, like if your car got totaled,
Sure. I see what you're saying now.
yeah. Say if it got totaled, which we know can certainly happen.
Well, it could burn up.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
it's
so if that happens, what are we wanting?
to be, for the EDC to get reimbursed the money that she
From
would
her
give
or from the insurance?
from the
company?
insurance company.
Within the year, because if you look at what the attorney put in here, because of the amount of money, which could easily be paid back in a year if it were a loan. It just says the grantee must stay in business for 1 year. So would you still want to
I
be,
would say 3 years.
let's take one
What's
thing
the
at a time.
basis for 3 years?
Why not?
Well, ask for the moon, what, 10
Well,
years?
Okay, how about 10? I mean, one just doesn't.
Well, what's the
feel like
average
it's
life
enough.
of this survey?
The points were, those were the points the attorney thought were reasonable for this
Those were
type
the
of loan, so.
suggestions.
Which is what we're here paying him for.
Right, but I didn't agree with it.
Do you have it, would you have insurance on that? Like,
She ain't water yet.
No, she has it.
yeah, she has it.
If
If you-
you insurance, because it's something that's around, and it is possible, I do not,
Okay,
because it's $5,000.
yeah, okay, that, just was curious. So if something happened to it, we want her to reimburse us.
Mhm.
Is that what?
Sign over ownership to you, or reimburse you, or get it fixed.
Yeah.
If it gets totaled
Yeah, as long as
and you
say
get,
that
and you get paid, then you would give us.
But that's already in the default. If I'm not able to perform for a year because it's total, then I'm in default.
That's right.
So it seems like a duplication.
I agree, I don't think it's
I
necessary.
disagree, but, I'm just saying that based on our last wagon. Like,
Yeah. All right, anything else, Laura?
I think that, we, you know, what's gonna happen if, is there a clawback on this? Who, say, heaven forbid, if she got sick and isn't able to perform, I would say we need to have an expectation of however, you know, like 45 Saturdays a year, like we have with the gunfighters.
Okay.
Actually, I have several drivers, and I've got 3 days in December. The 2 vehicles. At the same time, I have drivers, so I would not. be
But
able to
just-
drive. The business could continue as a.
Right.
Good question.
But I think, you know, there's an expectation
Absolutely.
that, you know, people are coming to town on Saturdays and that there will be wagons.
Is,
All the snow getting done good.
would this wagon be in operation every weekend? Special events?
Seasonal.
It's pretty seasonal.
Okay,
Because the DBA would be something that you would recommend, maybe the longer route, which might be 2, maybe 3 wagons total for a weekend because of the quantity of people.
would it be, would you feel better if we had an idea or commitment from her as to how often, like, it would be used a certain number of days, or is that what?
Yes, I think we should.
If
I'm
the
sorry?
DBA had those days listed already, I'm sure it would be much more. Because this is, the route specifically is paid by the DBA.
I just meant that, I guess I'm thinking of days, it would
We
be a
need
certain,
the
like,
route, the DBA is paying for the route.
The route is supported by the DBA at Ron's
So are
wagon.
they paying you to,
Ron's wagon would be one of the wagons on the route, and we would, up to 4 already.
but, so are they paying you all to do this?
I have not,
Okay. So then are you going to be charging the people riding?
the intent that was brought to me was we would be in service with the tourist shelters. to
Great,
keep them
okay.
out.
Okay. I had listed some specific dates that I thought we needed them to be in operation, such as Memorial Day, Labor Day, Day of the American Cowboy, the Saturday after Thanksgiving, Hunters Weekend, Mardi Gras. Specific dates, and I thought,
Once they're already mostly on those dates.
I cannot rely on wagon those dates.
to be during the week.
No, the business can, we're talking about this, the requirements for this particular route. That was the whole reason.
Because then the last time you told us it would just be on Saturday mornings.
That's what it is currently.
Okay.
Sometimes Cowboys on Main for the holidays and for the
Seems like at the last meeting, we talked about just a specific number of days rather than what those dates were.
I agree.
I just think that our biggest tourism days, we should cover those.
All right, I agree.
And the BBA already puts Roswag out and I've actually heard several of those in addition to Roswag, so I don't see that being a problem. I think that's a wonderful way to promote this beautiful, the Cowboy Way and Bandera Cowboy brand.
Is
That's what I've been
there,
doing for the past several years and I'm willing to do it going forward.
is there any routes during the week as, Councilmember Palmer? Or is it just weekends?
No,
Or maybe
No
like,
funding has come up for routes during the week.
okay.
But I do take private rides on a regular basis. And I take them through town for history tours, for city park tours, for lunch trots, for pizza, whatever.
That's,
we-
that's if a customer contacts you.
Correct. But
So
I do-
you're
I
not
do
gonna
promote
be
Bandera.
present during the week at any time,
No,
sitting in front of the courthouse and trying to
So much
Attract-
business.
attract tourists.
that is not the point at this point.
I don't know that there's the traffic to support that.
On a regular basis.
During the week.
reason I'm not, is it's just, it's,
She knows
Normal.
that-
It's just like I've heard, and this is just my opinion or view, not really opinion, view, that, we do have visitors that come in during the week and they're looking for the Cowboy brand and nothing is offered during the week. So, I mean, if
You're
you're
right.
buying this for her, that might be a nice trade-off, is to have her one day a week, during the week.
Yeah.
That might be a nice trade-off.
That they contact the Chamber of Commerce and when the visitors come in to the bid wages and stuff, and they can contact and set something up to have that happen.
actually, the visitor center contacted me twice, and within an hour and a half notice, I've been able to see people at town. So, although I'm not sitting and waiting, which is.
It would make more sense. Right, and she is
I agree,
available
very
during the
available.
week, but it's by reservation or,
Customers contacting her.
right.
So what she'll be doing during the week, she will be charging for, what she
Yes.
will be doing on Saturdays will be free. Is that
Will be
correct?
Or paid by the BBA,
Okay,
paid by the BBA.
right, but
Yes.
the clients.
Sir, did you have something to say?
She covered what I
She-
wanted.
okay. Was there anything else?
Just what is, if she should go out of business, what will happen to the wagon?
It would be the property of the EDC.
Well.
Not after a year.
You're buying it
If
for her.
it's within the callback time.
Yeah.
If it's outside of that, then that's
Hers,
correct.
to take anywhere she wants to
If
take.
I go out of business, then that's part of the responsible capture of the money.
Okay.
But that's only for a year, right?
That's what this says. We
Yes,
can,
So she could be here for a year and then take the wagon somewhere else
I've got
and
a
use it to.
cemetery plot out here.
That's a hot item.
It is, I mean, I'm sure she does take the wagon other places.
Everybody's
Well-
clamoring for one.
And I believe the attorney recommended that the wagon not be taken out of Bandera unless approval was obtained by the EDC. Did that get put in there?
The county or the town? Because
I don't think
it's
that's-
currently parked outside of town because it's not allowed to be parked
This
outside.
county where that wagon would come in.
Well, I would say, county. But
I don't wanna drive that far, so I've never, have I never?
Well, we've got the Heritage Parade in
Oh, that's right,
Stark
that
County,
was with that was the antique wagon, so.
but that was with our personal antique wagon in
And
1909.
you know, they did a wedding in
Well,
Medina
I would just
County.
like to see that.
Well, so the,
But
this
you
is-
gotta understand, if we're doing events, and as her husband, I'm thinking of her,
Right, we're just,
as we do events with the wagon that you all are helping us cover the expense of, because it's going to grow our wagon ride business, we will then have to start charging for sales tax, which the sales tax will get paid to the city. So we're coming back around to giving you what you're asking for, and I don't think we're being given credit for doing exactly as you're asking.
And I would, sorry, Bandera first. You don't know me you don't know me, I don't know you that well, but, that was the intent of my business to begin with.
Exclusivity would be too much to ask. for.
No,
I believe
No,
it.
I'm
We
just
are purchasing this wagon for you. If we wanna outline specific
Yeah,
services
first
that
line.
we would like her to provide in Bandera, but I don't feel like we can dictate everything she does with that wagon.
I do. Your
No
bank
way.
doesn't dictate where you can drive your car.
If the board feels
but
like that's
this is, we
necessary.
are
We're not
buying
covering
this
the
for the
liability
city of
of that,
Bandera. If it's being used in Hondo, then Hondo's getting the benefit, not Bandera.
First right of refusal is what I hear. Always one. I don't, you don't feel anything like that.
Yeah, it's not that we need
This,
to-
I mean, these are just things I feel that are important. I also would like
It
to
is
see, sales reports, quarterly sales reports submitted to us. These sales tax.
Going forward,
Sales tax,
Yes.
okay. And she said that will not go into effect until 2024. So
Oh,
then-
yeah, 45 days.
Oh, that's right. Hello, y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm still living in 2022 apparently. Yeah, okay. So,
What's next?
was there anything else you wanted to touch on before we kind of take those one at a time?
No.
Okay. So you mentioned the years that she'd be in business. The contract right now says 1 year. Does anybody feel like that needs to change?
I do. I really think 3 is.
I'm gonna call for an up and down, you know,
Make a
let's
motion.
do
Each one
let's do the
separately.
vote. We discussed this, so we're gonna beat death.
Okay.
Oh, and, you wanna, okay,
Mhm.
so we wanna go ahead and go forward with the vote, no further discussion? Okay,
Otherwise, we can put it off to another time.
so we have a motion, by Alan to approve this performance agreement as written. Correct? And a second by Tom, all right? Any,
In point of order, Laura would then have the option of amending or making a motion to amend what we voted on. So all those points that she raised, when we do the draft,
That's a
either
point,
yes or
yeah.
no.
What points do we wanna make?
I think we need to amend it before we approve the contract.
Well, that's,
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
So.
because we've already approved to have a contract, or a
Right.
performance
Right.
agreement. We are deciding on what the exactly is going to.
Right.
Okay.
the year, I'd like it to be 3 years.
Let's vote on these one at a time.
Okay.
Or can we just decide it and make all the changes and then vote on it at once? Do we have to vote on it?
I-
all
I
at
think-
a time?
How do we decide if it's gonna be 1 year or 3 years?
We're gonna discuss it and, oh, I see what
So we need to vote at some point. We have discussed it.
I have one question. How long have you already been doing the wagon rides here in Bandera
3 years.
already?
Yes.
I think it would be clean if you took them one at a time, and then if they pass, then I can just incorporate it real quick here off that page.
Then
And
we can have another.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, motion. Okay.
All right, so Laura says 3 years. Anybody?
so that's her motion to make it to 3 years, and then you'll second vote or whatever. Okay.
Okay, so we have a motion for 3 years. Is there a second? So that motion dies. motion?
I make the motion, we approve it as the first motion
For 1 year?
for 1 year.
Okay. Your second?
I second it.
Any further discussion?
I don't know if we can vote on that, since we voted against changing it to 3 years,
Okay,
then we
Yeah.
stick with it.
stick with what it is.
Right.
By default,
Right.
move on to the next.
I agree with you.
No, the first motion had precedence over the second.
Well,
No,
Correct, it's as written, so.
This one,
yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I would like to see, terms put in of a minimum of 45 Saturdays for 4-hour intervals.
Say that again.
There be a minimum of 45 Saturdays at 4-hour intervals, depending on the weather they choose the times. And that's the same thing as we have with gunfighters.
With the gunfighters.
Mhm.
They perform 45 times
A year.
a year. Did you have a, well,
May I ask a question? If the amendment of 45 Saturdays is accepted, that is only going to be enforceable for the current 1-year agreement, is that correct?
Correct.
No,
Yes.
just making sure.
Yes.
all right,
After that, she can do what she wants.
Gunfighter's agreement says 37 days.
Okay. Initially we started at 45.
or there's a provision for weather in that, or?
Yes,
Yeah,
there's
okay.
52 weeks a year.
And what would,
That's
what
what-
penalty would what penalty could we enforce against them? If they don't?
There really isn't a penalty.
I mean, they would be in violation of the contract. And they would have to-
Right, and,
But I think we need to set some expectations for how frequent.
I think it's to their benefit to be here and perform, and they're gonna probably do it to the best of their advantage, because that's what they're trying to do as an entrepreneur.
Well, if we're just giving them money, I think we need to set some expectations. Is my view. How about 37? Did you say 37 or 38?
Yes,
From 45 to 37.
that's an equivalent of what we do with Cowboys. on
Yeah,
Main.
same.
Yeah.
And weather.
It
permitting-
is, yes. No, the Cowboys on
Weather
Main,
permitting.
when we
have
funded
6
the
inches
stuff
of
through
snow out
ZBA,
there. It's not
that
wagon
was
road.
always there. It's 45 days.
No, I wish we did.
And we dealt with Cindy, that's what they always.
You're also dealing with humans that are more easily able to regulate their physical needs versus a team of horses. So you have to kind of take into consideration when you're setting a certain specific number of hours.
How about COVID?
Well, she's the one who told us, she's the one who told us 4 hours at our last meeting.
Well,
But the city ordinance. We don't know what.
If the motion is for 37, I would second that.
Okay, I'll make 37.
Okay, so we have a motion for 37 Saturdays at 4-hour intervals by Laura and Tom, seconded.
And can I include in their Memorial Day, Labor Day, Day of the American Cowboy? To just make it, so we don't have to go through some stuff. Hunters Weekend, Mardi Gras.
in addition to the 37 or as
No,
part of the
It's
37?
to be
Okay.
Inclusive.
inclusive of that.
I'd like to withdraw from Mardi Gras. People are,
How about Mother's Day?
Okay.
Father's Day?
I think, and they don't care about horses during. Mardi
Okay.
Gras.
That's fine. I can live with that. I'm just thinking people walking and need rides.
Yes.
All right, is there any further discussion on this motion? All right, all in favor? All right, all in favor, none opposed. that amendment. You got that, Roxanne? Okay.
Mhm.
All right, is there anything else?
I still would like us to be listed as the beneficiary of the insurance policy.
Beneficiaries, where Roxanne was, she's looking for, can you help us?
What? Beneficiary, I think that's the right word, because it,
Yeah, I think so.
Other life insurance.
well, this is, on your car insurance,
Or be considered an additional insurance.
Yeah, more honestly, for a piece of property, it's a loss.
So
Yeah, I think
this-
it's loss payables.
Yeah, this
Okay.
Probably
wagon
more.
belongs to a business, so as long as the business is still in operation, it doesn't really matter what happens to her necessarily.
Right.
But you can be
it-
listed
it's
as
an
an
actual
addition.
wagon that I'm concerned about.
Well, if it continues to operate, then, and it abides by the performance agreement, it doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
What about the wagon?
I'm worried about the wagon, if it gets towed. That's my concern. Because we certainly know that can happen.
So we can require her to carry insurance on the wagon.
Yes.
Be specific, just property insurance. Or, and then marine insurance is the specific term.
Or she can carry the insurance and EDC is the addition, insurance carried.
That only helps us in the case of liability.
Right, not
And
reimbursed.
we need to make sure we are released of any liability too.
I think it's in there.
Okay.
Oh, but unless you wanna own it, then you
No,
are.
I don't wanna own it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think we need to probably get with the attorney on that.
The wagon,
I'm just not,
the same.
what exactly this needs to,
Yeah, I think we need to,
$4,800. Happy to make calls.
I think we do need to require.
No, the EDC does not need to own any part of this Surrey,
I know that.
period. So therefore, there is no liability associated with it. You're giving somebody the ability to go out and use it to our advantage, okay?
Last
And-
time, the wagon,
Oh,
the lady
look,
got
look,
hit within.
if I was an
within a
insurance
week.
adjuster, if I saw that on my books and said, what's the odds of this happening again? Much better chance of a golf cart getting hit in this town than this.
Well, and it may be me on the golf cart, but,
Well, then we probably need some rules on those golf carts. I
well,
don't
they
know
are,
what we
there
have.
are rules.
I've seen kids driving them
I
through
know.
on public roads, so
But I think,
do you have to be a licensed driver?
you
to
know,
drive
what
one?
if a car backs,
Have to have
one of
driver's
these big trucks backs into it and just, crashes?
Well, I'm just saying, you're
I'm
opening
just-
yourself
I'm
up for
throwing it out.
liability when you wanna own part of the
I
property.
don't wanna own it, I
Can
want
we
the
vote
money.
on this?
let's make a motion.
To-
Let's make a motion.
I did.
Okay, one more time, just clarify.
Okay, I would like to be listed as the beneficiary should something happen to if the
Now
wagon
you
is
gotta
towed.
have it.
All right, so we have a motion, is there a second?
I don't quite understand it, so.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it dies for lack of a second. Any other amendments? to Discuss? All right, so we wanna make a motion to approve this performance agreement with the amendments, and revisions.
So move.
Okay, Tom? Is there a second?
Second.
Alan, that's second, all right, any further discussion? All right, all in favor? All in favor and one opposed? I'm sorry, 4 in favor, 1 opposed. All right.
And I'll make those changes, as far as dates to the agreement and then recirculate for signature in case it jumps my pagination, so.
All right, item 6C, establish a committee to begin evaluating EDC bylaws and policies for any necessary updates or revisions. Roxanne was kind enough to include a copy of our bylaws in our packet. No, that's it. We're obviously not gonna go over these right now, but I would like for everybody to hang on to these copies and use it as kind of our working copy as we begin to evaluate our bylaws and review them and make updates. So is there anybody that would be interested?
I can review it, start reviewing it by the first, because I already started marking up my copy.
Okay.
And I go back over her years, comparing my notes and the other, to see any additions.
I know Alan, Elaine, and I, last year, we had started this, and we all sent our suggestions in to,
Kelsey. It was Kelsey.
Keeling?
Keely.
What?
Keeling.
Keely, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
We've already done a little of the work,
Yeah, it was a lot of work.
a lot of work.
That's what I mean, I have to look at my notes, somebody might
But
take.
she
It
never,
should be
she
on
never
there.
gave us that information. Keely did.
Actually, I do have in my notebook a copy, from the attorney. I think that you guys had put together something and submitted it, and then he responded.
No, I don't think anything.
No,
was
we
ever-
didn't,
nothing
because it
was
got
ever
tabled.
submitted. We never actually revisited it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
I
but-
do have
but
comments.
We did put in individual comments from our bylaws, our current bylaws,
Okay.
Right.
that we thought maybe needed to be looked at. I mean, I'm not thinking anybody said anything's horribly wrong here.
No,
But
it
at
was
the
just little
same
minor
time,
changes
They
like
need
that.
to be updated a little bit.
It had to
Right.
do with
Adding a clause,
president versus the city administrator of the city.
well, and also like having, where, you know, like if we need to order checks, things like that. We could do things along that line, you know, you need to spend money, say on a lot for the connects or things like that. We added a few little things like that.
So we need to pull that together and we need to share that amongst ourselves and
Could
see
you
if there's
pull
anything else.
those comments, Roxanne, from the email?
That she doesn't have a bit of.
Comments from who?
Each one of us, I sent in, I know I sent in.
By email.
By email, everybody emailed theirs.
To the EDC.
So I didn't email anything, I just had hand notes written.
Oh, did you?
Okay.
Mine was
Okay.
all hand
Mine
notes.
was email. I think.
Mine was emailed. And any of the other board members, their suggestions, I mean, I say why reinvent the wheel when we can
Oh, yeah.
already have done a lot of the work,
Absolutely.
is where I'm coming from.
But I do also have some, suggestions from the attorney as well. They were just in the,
Well, that's
in
from the
my
legislature, probably.
Oh, yeah.
some of them were, some of them were not. He
Okay.
read through our bylaws and he had certain suggestions. So we have that, we have the input that was gathered at some point, whenever that was. So Elaine, you would like to be on that committee?
Yes.
Okay. We have someone else. I mean, Laura and Alan or, no,
I paid my 2 words.
you're good, okay.
It's good enough, not good enough for a committee, probably, just a couple of times.
Well, just to organize that and, you know, put it together. Laura, you want to work with it?
Oh, I will.
If you don't want to,
No,
I'll
I
do it.
will. I will.
She's good at organizing.
Yeah, I mean, I have some input, I just
No,
would
I
rather
do all.
kind of go.
Well, you remember,
funnel it.
you remember when we worked on all that before.
And I've been working on it
Okay,
as well, just.
right. I think if we can just get those comments and at least start from there, and that would be
Good starting spot.
a good starting spot.
Yeah, but rather
I don't think
then
we need
have
to-
Roxanne do that if we could just have, you know,
Well, I'd like to have my comments back.
oh, well,
She
she,
might have
If-
forgotten.
Yes, I'm sure I've forgotten them since then.
If they're there, I mean,
I'd like to see him again too.
I'm gonna,
And I know,
I'm gonna check.
so you'd be willing, you and.
Julie said on her way out, she was gonna do us that, remember?
she did,
She did.
I know.
Said, oh, yeah, I've got y'all's, input now.
Well, she didn't have,
On the bylaw.
right, I know. I know mine was also to the EDC email, and you said yours was too.
And that was all in agreement, so that
Well, and I think, we all need to look at them, so.
Right.
hopefully,
we
You know,
Right.
You signed it.
so if you two would,
Run late on
I'm checking an office again.
it. Take the checkbook, right?
And this one we are signing, we approve that one,
yeah, can we wait and do that after we
and I'm
finish?
going through here.
All right, let's move on to item 6D. Consider selection of a new committee to review the website bids and make a recommendation. So originally we had Deanna and Lindsay working on that, and with Deanna's absence and, well,
Well,
Lindsay's
Roxanne was supposed to work with it too, but
Right.
she'll probably be the one to interface with that more than anybody.
Yeah, so, what I can have her do is, there were 2 bids that we were looking at. So, we just need to have a recommendation, was what we were looking for from.
Well, you got more than
I'd
2
like to
bids.
make a motion to open this up for discussion.
Second,
Oh, so
second, okay.
There's no hard copy file in the filing cabinet, and I'm not able to find anything on the external drive that I downloaded. And
It
I'm,
will be on the emails.
and I'm not finding anything in the emails by search. I've searched bylaws, I've searched policies, I've searched Keely's name.
That's weird.
I'll search
We'll
mine.
look into
I'll
that.
search mine
I'll sit
too.
my search.
But I know that, everybody on the board at the time had, was asked,
Yes.
Yeah, but I think only you and I responded is what I heard.
this is still here.
Yeah, of the full board, only you and I
Right.
actually submitted anything.
Did you have some comments on the website?
I did talk to Deanna after I was in the store after the last meeting. I'm sure she would be willing to give us her thoughts so that they don't have to start from scratch. I think it would be worth asking her for those.
Well, I believe we had, if I remember correctly, if I have to go back and look at the minutes, there were 2 bids that we decided to consider. The others were
Right.
way too expensive, I believe.
And those 2 bids are in your packet.
Okay. And
Her
those were-
recommendation.
Well, maybe we need to go back to those 2 bids. and just
Yes.
Leave it at
Yeah.
that. This board can make that decision.
Okay.
Yeah, her recommendation.
What 2 bids are we talking?
Civic Plus.
I'm sorry, there were 3. Civic, I apologize, Civic Plus, the 360,
Yeah, I
That's a
think,
Sparks 360?
Sparks
Yeah, that's the
360,
one I see.
yeah.
and then, the local one.
Her girl that was here last time.
Shannon.
Well, maybe we just
Well,
review
Deanna,
the
yeah,
difference in
Deanna,
those.
That's what the committee was going to
You
do.
talked to all of them, didn't you?
No, I just spoke to Shannon. I did visit, her name was Elaine with 360, her website, and I looked at some of her work. I did not speak with her directly. Shannon was here and available, so.
Yeah.
I had asked her to come in.
And how far apart roughly are we talking? I know that Longview company was like $20,000.
yeah, we
We just put it back right now.
We blew them off.
Yeah, so Bandera Communications was $5,000. And it included up to 12 individual website pages. This Spark 360 was $8,000, but it included fewer pages.
Or what is the one that the city uses?
Civic Plus.
That's
And,
what Deanna was recommending.
and I don't know if we got a cost.
I thought we wanted away from the city.
No, we can,
It would be the same,
same company.
but independent of the city.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Confused.
So what I was hoping was that Deanna and Lindsay would evaluate all three of these and maybe kind of show us the pros and cons so that we could make a decision or, and
I
that
bet
they,
Deanna- I'm sure Deanna would, just knowing her and her thoroughness, don't you, Bill?
Yeah, she would be the most knowledgeable.
That
Well,
she would,
I'll
she
I'll
willing
say,
to
I'll say a
write it
little
up.
bit about Sparks 360. That lady, her background's incredible. She's originally Houston Post, then Houston Chronicle, Houston Business Journal, Texas Parks and Wildlife, Texas Highways, writes her own books. She's the fat lady of Austin. She's well known, very well known.
she's very,
And,
very.
and our company is very well accomplished, so.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to pay the extra 3,000, then go for the cheap.
I've just tried to reach out to Dan and I've got no response.
Okay.
So I, that's why I felt like we needed to move forward.
Sure, I'll be glad to go ask her if she would write up what she had evaluated, if that would be beneficial. Okay.
Maybe pros and cons on all three and, her recommendation,
Right.
her personal recommendation.
Sure. Safe to say I'm not an expert. She is, Deanna's an expert.
Yes. All right, so Lori, you're going
I'll
to
be
move
glad to
forward
ask her
with
for that.
that? Okay, that would be great, thank you, because I would like to get moving on that.
Yeah.
Okay, so no further discussion on that one, so we're gonna move on to item 6E, discussion regarding Settlers Park signage, benches, as well as other amenities, and consideration of scheduling a workshop to review. Laura.
Way back when we had a discussion about this previously, we had discussed going ahead with signage and, concrete benches and getting Lynn Hill to, flag the plants and stuff, to identify. I had, the historical commission, Rebecca, she put together this little, deal that's in your packet. This is just a suggestion on where to start. This is something that was published in a book that they did. And, you know, this is just a guideline for us maybe to start with for a sign. So I'd like to open this up for discussion.
A second.
Second.
Thank you, Tom. Sure.
Lynn, here's another one. You can have that. Oh.
This came out of what, now you said a book
Yes,
that is from the Historical
yes,
Commission?
yes, Ms. Peggy Tobin, had written this.
Okay.
Apparently she was head of the historical commission for a number of years. And we discussed not listing the 16 Polish families because we were afraid we might get someone left off and new ones might get hurt.
Yeah, I think it's a good start.
Yeah, excellent.
I thought so. The only thing I can think of adding is maybe give the EDC credit for purchasing the property.
Billy Walker is really into that sawmill thing.
Right, and this shows
He won't give up on that.
the map of the mill route.
Yeah,
Um,
that's kind of what put us on the map, along the sheep out.
My house has those, cypress shingles.
Still?
kidding? Yeah.
Wow.
We just put, the metal roofing over it, but yeah, underneath it is all the cypress shingles.
Oh, wow.
But I saved some of them just because I thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, well, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That might be cool to have in a display box.
Like, yeah, that would be. I have 3 of them.
If you'd be
I
willing
saved 3 of them.
to
How much
part
you
with
want
one.
for 'em?
Let's see, 8,000. I mean, it is a boost to the cowboy brand. It is where Bandera started.
Okay.
Well, it might
I'm
be,
so glad you brought that up, because we're gonna get there.
well, since we talked about the mill route on there, maybe we could have a display box with one of the shingles. And
That's what I was thinking, inside the display box, you could have, the shingles inside. I'll get it to you.
I think it would be cool if you did like, you know, covered, you know, benches or pavilion with those kind of shingles. Who even makes those?
Well, they're glass.
Well, the only one that would be Fred Collins. He had that cypress mill, but I don't know if he still does that or not.
But the fact that hers was one of the original ones made,
Oh, yeah.
that's why I was thinking. But yes, that would be,
I mean, just go with that theme, I guess is what I'm.
yeah.
I'm sure that was towards the end of the big era of the shingles.
Yeah, my house was
Because
built.
they ran out of cypress at one point. They really did.
Oh,
Cypress trees do grow
my
fast.
house was built in the 1920s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's awesome.
Excellent.
I mean, anybody have any corrections, additions? Yay, nay, indifferent? You like it, you hate it?
No, I like it. I think it's
That looks good.
a good
Good starting spot.
starting point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you like to get a bid on the sign?
I don't know. I guess I was kind of thinking before we move forward doing anything, we have maybe more of a plan. I mean, we can, this is great, but what else are we gonna be doing, you know, with this property? I guess I just don't wanna, you know,
I just figured we needed a sign up. Get started.
yeah.
I was thinking a sign and benches, maybe several concrete benches. And,
Has anybody walked the property? I don't.
Too wet right now.
Well,
No, I've walked it.
have you, okay.
I went down there and looked to see if I could find it, but I don't know which property it is.
I'll be glad to show
It's
you.
right there at,
I'm not sure. I know
what
where
is
it
it, Third and
I tell you
Cypress?
what,
Yeah, I
See,
know.
I
it.
think we should take a
Third and
vote for
Cypress
that.
right where we're at.
that was exactly what I was gonna recommend.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do that and,
Start our meeting early next month and
In
while
fact,
it's daylight.
there's some benches out there already, or some chairs out there.
There shouldn't be.
There is.
Oh, well, that's all right.
would you guys wanna schedule a workshop to just really sit down and
Squatters.
talk about
The settlers.
the squatters?
That's water.
Chairs have been there a long
Squatters
time.
in the
Well, no,
settlers
so
part.
you look at it, you
A long
Is there a
time.
hammock down
I
there?
didn't know that was part of the property, but I've seen those chairs back there.
Is anybody interested in doing a workshop to kind of discuss the direction we're gonna go?
Well, you'll have to walk it and to even
Yeah.
figure out how the
Yeah.
walking trails to go and everything. You need a workshop, but you need to investigate the property
Absolutely, after you walk the property.
and stuff to see
And I
how
would
it.
say after the holidays. we would do this.
Upcoming agenda item.
Yes.
We'll walk it in 10 foot of snow in January.
I don't think
That's
we're.
right. It's an El Nino year.
I don't know, Alaska had 26 inches last week.
That's Alaska.
Well, that's off.
It's off anchors, yeah.
If I really like this sign, I don't know, or we're prepared to make a decision. Yeah, I think it's a great sign.
I would not put the sign there until we're ready to implement the plan.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it will be a horse before the cart. and that doesn't look good.
Well, see, I think the opposite, because I think we need to at least let them know that it is a park. But that's, and I figured if even with
Surprised
just a
people,
sign
it's
and
all
a
okay.
couple benches, they could still at least go sit and start enjoying.
Mhm.
Well, it's already there.
There's something out there.
Yeah, there's already a couple of plastic chairs.
Might find a few other things sitting out there.
Yeah, I imagine there will be.
Does the city maintain that park, or are you gonna go into an?
There's nothing to maintain at this point.
Oh, you're not gonna mow it, the grass is not too tall.
Maybe
We're gonna keep it as wildlife, just keep it natural.
But it's gonna need maintenance.
Underbrush
I mean, it's
needs
gonna
to
need,
A little cleaning out.
yeah, I mean,
You got
it's gonna be
branches and
trash,
stuff
it's gonna
there.
have to be picked up, and trees that may need to be trimmed at some point. I mean, obviously keep it as natural as possible,
Right.
but there's still a cap
Maybe
involved.
you can enter into an agreement with the city to maintain that.
Yeah, that's all those things are
Yeah,
things we need to
once
talk
you have
about.
the plan, and you can show the plan, this benches here, this is the
What
walking
kind of benches
trail.
we're gonna have, are we having a walking trail,
Right.
all those types of things. There's a lot that,
Yeah, you have to designate a walking trail, you just can't go in there, just hang out, you gotta designate.
it's pretty dense, right?
In parts
We're
of
gonna
it.
put some gravel down on that trail too.
So I wouldn't put gravel on, you put
Mulch,
mulch.
yeah, mulch or gravel, or even the ground up tires, that type of stuff, because it's a kind of a mushy thing most of the time, except the drought.
But thank you for
We'll
that.
make sure that the deer don't eat it.
What, the rubber?
Hey,
Not goats.
they,
Goats.
you'd be surprised.
Okay.
All right. Unless anybody wants to make a motion regarding this item? Take any action? So just, thank you, Laura, for doing that. It looks great.
Yeah, those are-
Okay.
Yep.
Well, it's a good start.
It is, absolutely. All righty, comments. Anybody have any comments?
Yeah, I got something to pass out here. Take one of those and pass them down. Just something you guys to look at. I did a little research on interest rates,
Hmm.
banks,
Okay.
and I'll just give you a short synopsis on this. The first one you're gonna see is I took a bank rate from a national bank. I have it highlighted there, 7-month CDs, which is the special right now, are getting roughly 5% or better. And, we're not getting anywhere near that.
Mm-mm.
And even if we bail out what we're into, the penalties will be far outpaid by this in the 7-month term. Now, that's the national one. Next page is the best bank here in Bandera, which is the Texan Bank. Well, wait a minute. You got the Texan Bank on here? Yeah. And if you look at the APY, which is the annual projected yield, the best we're getting kind of nationally is 5.13. At Texan, we can get 5.06.
Is
So,
it-
so you're
is
looking
that-
at an almost, yeah.
There's two Texas Is that the one, the old Hondo Bank?
Correct.
Okay.
That's a indiscernible amount of difference. I mean, really, it's very small. And of course, it behooves us, I think, to stay local for obvious reasons.
Did you check Wells Fargo?
Yes, I checked all.
Okay, because
That's the best one.
well, and it's been since the end of September.
I bank with Wells Fargo.
I do too. I've got one that, well, I've got account for two different banks, but I got the 10-month at the 5.1.
Well, and I'll say this about that. You look at what's going to happen here in 6 to 7 months. And this is my personal opinion. The reason they're offering these as specials, and if you look at the longer ones, if you want to lock in for years, they're not going to give you that rate.
No.
And what's ever going to happen with the banking industry in the next 6 or 7 months, who knows? And electorally, if we have an election, which we are the next year, you might even see bigger differences. But I think we lock into a 6 or 7 month and play that one because like I said, it's going to pay your penalty right off the bat. In other words, whatever penalties we have getting out of what we're into, and we're up in the jumbo range. So
we really
Two
can't.
CDs, one is 22 months remaining at 1%. The other is 10 months remaining at 1%.
We really
I know.
Yeah. So
let me just give you an example. The amount of time we spent tonight could have bought everybody in this room dinner at Ruth Chris. That's how much money we're losing every day, and we are the
Can we put this
fiduciary
on the agenda for
responsibility.
the next meeting?
What?
Can we put this on the agenda for the next meeting? So we can.
Oh, of
really
course, but
discuss
we
it?
haven't gotten to that yet.
yeah,
We
well,
have
we
a
don't
couple
want
of
to get
things that's
too.
gonna go on the agenda.
Yeah.
This is just for you to digest so you get an idea
Okay.
of what we're not doing on behalf of
No,
the
no,
community.
you're
I
absolutely
don't know,
right.
I need to go move some money around.
You gotta make some money.
Yeah.
This 6 month stuff, 7 month stuff, it's not gonna last very long.
No.
And then see if the Fed comes out, and bond ratings are a big way to watch this. If the Fed comes out and says, okay, we're gonna hold it, then you're probably gonna get another 6 or 7 months, so you don't get penalized on what you just had. You keep going on that 5%.
Well, let's not
And
get
like
too.
Tom's saying, you
too far.
realize the difference between 1 or 2%, 5% with the amount of money that we're talking about.
Kim Finley also stated that he would, before we move our money, he would like to have the opportunity to give us a
Who did?
special rate.
That Bandera Bank.
At Bandera Bank.
They can't do it unless they offer it to everybody else. And
I'm
and
just telling you
I'll-
what he said.
well, all I'm saying is they'll have to make the same deal for everybody.
Yeah,
And right
let's
now,
not
they're
get
not,
too
they're not
far.
where this one is. I just did my basic
Yeah.
research because I don't have
And this
any
is,
dogs in those fights. Like you said, I've got my bank's at Wells Fargo, they don't pay anything close. Not-
we don't
But
want to
pay
get
for it.
too far into this discussion, but that would be a great thing for you guys as an investment committee.
This
to-
ought to be done immediately. This
Yeah.
board can
So
act,
after the meeting, the three of us can talk.
this board can act
Hey.
without
Yeah,
anything.
we can't discuss it right now, Alan.
Okay,
Well,
all right.
yeah.
No,
we-
I'm not, no vote right
This
now.
is a
It's
great-
just for information, that's all.
And we
Put it on the
will,
agenda.
we
But
can
we'll-
put it on the future
we'll
agenda
get
if you
there.
guys have a chance to meet and are ready to make a decision.
I would suggest that, a couple officers go, you and Andrew, or vice president, or me and Elaine, or somebody.
Our financial guy needs to go.
Well, absolutely, he's gonna get educated on this. He's gonna learn the good.
I've been
do's and don'ts.
educated.
But right now, we are wasting, we're the custodians of the public's money.
Yeah.
And boy, are we screwing up. Every day that we don't do this, every month that we put it off to another agenda or whatever, but we're gonna do that. But I just wanted to make
schedule
sure
a
everybody
time to-
understood where we were.
Thank you. Thank you for
Okay.
helping us understand the urgency of that.
All right, it's very urgent.
Any other future agenda items?
Yes.
I would, since we've had so much trouble with things and, oh, go ahead.
No.
No, I thought you were through.
No, that was not agenda item, that was comments from the board.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
There's not
Well,
any more
are we
future.
still on comments or are we on?
Anybody have any other comments? Okay, now we're
I
on.
do have a comment. And I guess because I missed out that one meeting, what was the decision on the property off of Maple and Trump Street? Is
Oh.
that ever planning?
It's in planning and zoning.
Still,
Well, they never set a meeting for planning and
I
zoning.
know, I thought of that today. We need to follow up on that.
Okay, so it went back to planning and
Yes.
zoning.
All right. Future agenda items, Laura.
Since we've had so much trouble with finding things, that were emailed, that were supposedly, just in case this should ever happen again, I think we might need to go back to keeping some hard copies of things. It just seems like lately there's been so much that we've done and things.
So
are not
anything
right.
prior to me, I have no control over.
I know
Anything,
that.
I know,
totally
but
know that.
anything from me forward, I have folders, electronic copies. I have my banker boxes with hard copies.
Okay.
I'm creating electronic records, so if I run out of here screaming, I don't want to do this anymore, everything will be easily,
Okay, I just want to make sure that
Right.
that.
The other thing that I would, and it's, it, don't know if it needs board approval or not, other than for my hours, I'd like to create a administrative assistant handbook. So anybody after me will know this is how QuickBooks works. This is how you set up things for the agenda. That needs to be here, whether it's me or someone down the road, so you have some continuity. Or even if a board member has to take it over temporarily until you hire somebody, it would have your step-by-step instructions. That's been something I've been kind of toying with. I think it will be really important for you to have.
It's called a playbook.
Mhm.
No, I think that definitely needs to be added to the agenda.
makes sense. Yeah,
Excellent.
'cause
Yeah.
look how much turnover we've had just in the last.
And
And
how
that's
much
one thing is
reinventing the wheel we've had to
Yeah,
do.
and each, person that was in there, thought they were doing a great job and keeping
And
everything.
they were well trained in QuickBooks and all the
But
programs.
it's like all of a sudden things are
Right.
weird.
But not exactly the thing to do.
Right. And how we had examples of thumb drives that were supposed to have had information on that wound up not having information. I can include what the process would be. Nothing should be wiped unless there's like a signature from at least two
Yeah.
board members that say, okay, and in accordance with a records policy that this, the
Right.
board has. So
Right.
just, and
I
I'm
think we
playing
all-
a lot
I
of,
think we all know,
right,
yeah.
right.
but I think that's very important.
But
You're
from going
absolutely
forward, it will
right.
be, it will all be there. And if I disappear, my husband has specific instructions. If I get hit by a horse-drawn wagon, he has specific instructions that I bought this as a separate
All
laptop.
right.
Everything on here is EDC and only EDC.
And
So,
I'll- yeah. We'll add it to the
Okay.
agenda.
all right.
Things we put. Yes, I think that's,
Okay.
Great idea.
yeah.
Anything else?
Yeah, nobody's gonna like this
Uh-oh.
one. There's a legal decision that needs to be made in Bandera regarding something that you have brought up in your agenda. You said it tonight, actually, Wayne. The trade name for Bandera. And I have done a little research, and I find that we have no trademark on that trade name. that trademark mark needs, the EDC needs to be proactive in getting a trademark for Bandera Cowboy Captain.
Put that on the agenda.
And that's a hard one to do, guys.
There's a lot, I don't know.
There's a lot of people with a lot of fingers in the pie, but I want everybody to understand that whatever is done right now, is grandfather. In other words, nobody's imposed any rules on anybody. Anybody, if you want to go buy a T-shirt and it's got the Bandera Cowboy Captain world on it, it can be made in Taiwan. They're not paying a red cent for it. The point I made a couple of years ago to a friend of mine was when I was out on my gas business for a while, and I had a non-compete out to the seafood market. Here comes this kid from the street, black kid in the street that had heard me talking to a lawyer about a patent that I was working on, and he said, "Do you know anything about trademarks and copyrights and things like that?" I said, "Yeah, a little bit." And he goes, "I want to do one right now." Guys, this was 20 years ago. He says, I said, what's your idea, man? He goes, H-Town.
Well, what is it called?
Because Houston didn't have any type of name. Big D if you're from Dallas, right? San Antonio's Alamo City or whatever. But bottom line is, Bandera is not just a place, it's a destination. They're never going to build a four-lane highway through this town and knock out our downtown. Even if TxDOT would probably love to do it. They're going to have to build around it. And this place is so unique that it would be horrible if this falls right in the crosshairs of the EDC. We're the Economic Development Corporation of Bandera. And going forward, can't go backwards. But going forward, that we can protect Bandera with its uniqueness, with a trademark and copyright, and we can own it.
We need to see.
So you're going to have to pull legal in on it. It's not going to be cheap.
If we can.
Oh, you absolutely can. I know that.
Okay.
No, you don't have any. There's no control over it whatsoever. You're going to step on maybe a county commissioner or two or something like that has some maybe. We might step in some doo-doo.
That won't be the first time I've
It
said.
wouldn't be the first time. And that's what I love about being on this board is let's get it straight and let's get it right and let's move forward and protect the generations way beyond us about this town. Because when I see that used all the time, you made the comment tonight about the Bandera trade sign. And of course you put it in, you said, we want the trade name. There's such a thing as a trade name. And somebody may own it in town, but you can always overcome that with a trademark and also a copyright. So I mean, I know, you can make a Polish movie and use it. Nobody paid anybody to use that. So I'd like to see it put, I'd like to see, not necessarily put, I just think we need to inform we had great legal advice. I don't know if they're big on trademarks and copyrights, but they know the right people to get involved. And we need to start moving in that direction because shame on us if we go another generation or another generation, don't let this fall between the cracks.
So are you saying, because where is that other, sorry, where's the other place in Texas that claims cowboy caps?
Oh, Stephenville.
So what are you trying to accomplish by?
Doesn't matter because it says Bandera. We don't give it. You can you can file a trademark on anything that you want to call it. You can call it Andrew's cowboy cap, but the bottom line is Bandera and cowboy cap. You don't have to prove anything. Just call it your trademark. But see, nobody's done it here, and there's no copyright on it. whatsoever either. So anybody can print anything and use it as well. Now, the
So
cowboy
you're
way
trying to
is
get,
the other
are
thing,
you trying to get
but the old
money
one
off
I'm
of
talking about.
people that are printing t-shirts that say Cowboy Capital of the World, Bandera, Texas? Or you're trying to prevent them from not using or paying, like paying the city or the EDC money?
Well,
for
suppose they
printing
used
that
it the
brand?
wrong way.
I'm just trying to.
Yeah, we need to, we
You
need to
need
save
to
this,
control it, not, don't let the public control it.
yeah, we need to look into it a little bit more and
You
like.
gotta have legal look into it.
Right, legal and what are the
I'm gonna
benefits
tell
and
you,
what
this is
are
probably the most important thing that this board can accomplish in the next year or two,
Yeah.
three, something, I don't care how long it takes, I mean, you know,
well, let's look
it
into it.
sounds a historical marker in itself, it must be preserved, and that's a trademark.
Right, understand. Anything else? Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Yes. Second. All in favor? All right, all in favor. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks
Be
for
safe
coming.
out there.
Huh?
Be safe out there.
Oh, thank you. You too.
Alan and Elaine, I, did training for the state's investment officer, so, two things stood out. One
Okay, so
is
we're
that
waiting
be
to sign this
specific
agreement,
in
correct? The
how-
changes.
This is how, transactions.
Um,
needs to be protocol just to sell
Is
it.
that the wagon
And the
one?
other thing is,
Sign in your signature line area, and if I can keep the pagination the same, we may be okay. I just have to kind of tweak my margins, and I might be able to save it. So I've allowed some room at the bottom of some of the pages, but I will let you know for sure. I still have the check. I told her I got it signed, but she doesn't get the check until that's completed. Yeah, Stephenville did copyright theirs.
They copyrighted their Cowboy Capital?
It's trademarked.
Andrea, when there's not so many people in the room, I'll fill you in on some stuff.
Yeah, we need to, and it's just the penalty on this.
I've done some research too.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.
And it actually goes back, Bandera goes back to the great cattle drives of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Not necessarily that we had, rodeo cowboys.
Yeah.
Even though that's what a lot of people say, well, there's no more cowboys in Bandera, which isn't true, but.
We need to jump real quick. And then in 6 months, it'll pretty much be the same.
Around, getting our savings